Welcome back. So now we have everything set up for actually creating some kind of routing. And again, if you guys are more into the reading, the tutorials, the Angular.io docs tutorial routing is actually pretty good. And again, you should complete the entire hero tutorial to see most of what I'm telling you actually. But let's try and make a route using this. And we're going to start out by actually setting up the router that's going to be able to redirect you depending on what URL you're putting on your web page. So what I kind of want to do is when I do like /courses or /home or /something like this, it should actually go to a specific site. And that's kind of what we're trying to build here, and that's what the route tutorial can give us. And we've done kind of the first part where we try to split up our app component into different routes, and now we want to start using that by actually adding a router. So first of all, we need the router module, and that's what we're going to start out by making. So we're going to grab this guy right here, and we're going to use that inside our code. So let's try and inside the app module, we're going to add a new import here, the router module, and that's what we're going to start using for routing. And now in their example, let's just start there like they're doing. We're going to just add the router directly like this inside the imports. So like this. Now we say if the path is courses like this, now let's actually say home just to show you, then we want to use the home component. That's actually how simple it is to make routing inside Angular. Let's just put this the right way, the home component, there we go. So if we write home, we'll go to the home component. We don't even have anything else right now because that's the only route we actually have available, because the course component is a DOM component, that's not actually a route. So let's just keep it with this for now and see if that actually works. So now inside the app module we have our routing set up for the home component if you write in the home path. Again, it's kind of boring because if I go here now, you'll see the root is there, but if I write home, I'll actually go to the same page, but nothing really happens because it's the same thing, right? But another thing we need to notice is that actually we don't have the last thing that we need to use routing, and that's a router outlet. So let me just try and scroll down, and there you see something called router outlet. So the last thing we need to do is actually add this router outlet inside our app component HTML file like this. And let's remove the app home here because now we are not going to the root actually when we start out. So let's try and see what happens. Notice the page is now blank, and it's not until I go to the home that I actually show my home, right? And of course we shouldn't have a slash that's blank. It's just to show you that it actually works here. So what just happened? Well, think of the router outlet as the guy who redirects you to the page you need to go to. So right now our app home component is the main page for our application. So whenever I hit the slash, the root of the page, I'm going to hit app home component as it's set up right now. And that root actually just shows nothing right now because I just removed the root. Was before the root was actually the app home, right? But now there's nothing there. The only thing that's there is this router outlet. And the router outlet is just a way for us to display whatever component you should show depending on your route. So if we go back to the app module, it says if you're on the route home, show the home component. If you're on the route nothing, show the home component. If you're on the route snoof, let's try and do that just to show you. If I'm on the route snoof, I'll show the home component, right? So it's just redirecting me and using that component depending on what route I'm in. But you need both. You need, in the app module, you need to add the router module right here, and you need in the home component, you need to add the router outlet, and then you need to explain what route do I need to go to actually get to the home component. Now in our case, the home component should actually be met as soon as we hit nothing, the start of the route. So let's see if we can do that. Try and refresh the page. Now we're at the root and we get the home component. We'll build more on this, but that's how simple it is to set up routing inside Angular. And I would even say, just to wrap this up, instead of doing it like this, I would actually add a constant here called routes and just make that routes into this list. And I would even pull it into another file at some point because it gets pretty meshy in here if you put too much information in here. But this will work as well, just adding this guy as an actual constant here, adding the routes up here, and then look at this, is just easier to read and will have the same effect. That's all for this lesson. Now you know about routing, and again, if you want to dive into more details, try and read the entire tutorial part right here. But that's pretty much all you have to know about routing. Add the routes, add the router module, and of course add the router outlet. Those three things have to be managed, and then you have routing. See you in the next lesson.